How you doing? Rich here from RPW Media. I just want to speak freely here to Republican candidates who are running in the midterm elections that are coming up in November. If you're having a difficult time in the polls, or you feel like you're just not getting your message across, or that you're boring people when you're talking to them, then I think it's time that you stop listening to your advisors. Fire them all. Most advisors tell you what the establishment leaders want anyway, and it's not going to work this time around. The Democrats are not wasting any time lying about you, saying evil things. The Democrats are always, they're not like, vote for us because we're going to do this. They say, don't vote for that guy because he's really horrible. Well, you need to point out how horrible they truly have been in the last few years. Point that out. Make a contrast. Show them that there really is a choice. Start listening to yourself. Start listening to your own gut. Start listening to your pro-American conservative values. Voters from all walks of life don't want to hear the same old platitudes. Trust me, none of them voted for what's going on today. Most of those that voted for Biden, they didn't vote for the progressive, radical lunatic Biden who's destroying our country. They thought they were getting a moderate. The same old lines and promises of what you're going to do that the advisors tell you, that's not going to work this time around. Americans are upset. They are angry. They are suffering. And it's all due to the policies of the Democrats. If you want to get your message through, these are the things you need to talk about. Here's what the American people are interested in and what they want you to fight for. They're there listening to you. You might as well use that time to give them a choice. You need to talk about what the Democrats have done during their perfect storm of total power over the last several years. They locked your voters down, told them they weren't allowed outside, couldn't go to restaurants, couldn't live life as normal. They bankrupted small businesses, which is the lifeblood of America. Many of them will never come back. At the same time, ironically, they made their rich friends, the donor class, they made them even richer. The Amazons, the Apples, the social media companies, they made them even richer. They allowed a violent Marxist revolution to take place in blue cities, Democrat-run cities across the country for an entire summer. They even called it the Summer of Love. Remember that. They toppled statues in blue cities across the country in a Marxist revolution to erase our history, our culture. That's what Marxists do. They try to take away the identity of society, of your country, so that they could rebuild it in their own Marxist vision. Tell your voters that you're not going to put up with that. You're a choice. You're a contrast. Tell them. They allowed the defunding of police in jurisdictions around the country. And what happened? The numbers are in. There's skyrocketed crime rates. Now they're saying that they didn't defund the police. They lie and say, oh, the Republicans are the ones that didn't pay for funding. A $300 billion payout to police in bills that had such waste of things that were never going to pass anyway. But think about it. They didn't vote for that because it was a poison pill, the entire bill. But they threw in that police $300 billion so that they could say, oh, they're the ones that aren't, supporting police. There's some neighborhoods in Chicago now that the police won't even go down because of the way police have been treated. Look, when elected officials disrespect police in their jurisdictions, the criminals catch on. They know they can get away with more. In New York City, crime is off the charts. And it's right now, they have a mayor who's a former cop. Not doing anything. Shootings and muggings happen all the time, all over the city right now. In Philadelphia, carjackings are at an all-time high. It's the heroin capital of the world, I believe. And violent crime is spiking. Meanwhile, Democrats took to defunding the police and attacking cops for just doing their jobs. In many jurisdictions, right now, thanks to that, they don't have enough police to protect the communities that they serve. Let your voters know that you support police, not bad police. Nobody supports bad police, but you support police. You back the blue. Let them know that you understand that they feel unsafe in their own homes, in their own communities. At the same time, the Democrats are plotting to take away your right to keep and bear arms. So they have Soros-funded district attorneys who are dropping bail in their jurisdictions and letting violent criminals out on the streets. They're telling you that you're not allowed to defend yourself because you will be dangerous. You will be dangerous if you exercise your Second Amendment rights. They don't give a rat's rear end about the criminals they're letting go. They're letting out on no bail over equity, right? But you're going to be dangerous if you exercise your Second Amendment rights, your constitutional rights to keep and bear arms. They divided America in so many ways. They divided us by making mask wearers versus non-mask wearers, vaccinated versus not vaccinated. Think about that. They attacked the family unit in America. They attacked your identity. Think about what they've done over the last several years. They've been after the nuclear family for 100 years, but now the Marxists moved in and they're attacking your own identity. The Democrats took powers they didn't even have. They just invented them. Mayors and governors, their legislatures, their city councils never passed laws, and they just did it anyway. Think about that. They went from Democrat elected politicians in a democracy to ruthless tyrants, locking you down, arresting you for surfing without a mask. They decided, this is the one that kills me, the Democrats decided who was essential and who's not. They told a number of Americans that they were not essential. What's that like when your government says, well, you can't work because you're not essential? You're a loser. This is what they told you. Okay, so tell your constituents that you believe all Americans are essential, whether they vote for you or not. They forced corporations to fire employees. They ended careers if they didn't take a medicine. Think about that. Is that the America you grew up in? Is that the America you want your kids to grow up in? Tell your constituents these things. Let them know. Remind them what the Democrats actually did. Don't let them listen to the Democrats who say, this is what they want to do. Point out what they actually did. They're evil. You need to tell your constituents the Democrats are evil and you're here to fight them. They're destroying our armed services with woke policies that knocked our recruitment drives down to the lowest points in decades. They pushed critical race theory in your kids' schools, telling them that America is not great, that it's systemically racist, that the children are racist. They want to make your children little racists inside the classroom. They use the term systemically racist, meaning that you were born racist, that everything about America is racist, except themselves, of course. Just be honest with your constituents, but be openly honest, be bold, be brave. Don't hold back. Don't lie, but you don't have to. There's so much material there. The Democrats spent us into oblivion, okay? And most people now can't afford groceries. They want to hear from you. They want to know, what are you going to do if we elect you? Right? It makes Americans angry when they can't feed their kids properly because the people who run the country spent us into oblivion. They spent your future earnings passing political programs that your constituents will probably never get to use anyway. They killed our energy sector. And now all Americans are paying higher gasoline prices that they have in decades. And a lot of Americans are worrying how the hell they're going to heat their homes this winter. By spending us into oblivion, we have an inflation rate that last count, I believe it was 8.3%, but remind people that it was 9.1 not that long ago. And if they are allowed to continue in power, it will go above that because there's no sign that they want to stop spending. They're spending money we don't have. They're beyond spending money we don't have. They behave like they want to create a hot war with Russia over Ukraine. We have the Chinese that are an actual enemy of ours that want to take us over economically and rule the world, leaving us destitute And they're worried about Vladimir Putin and Ukraine. They're taking us to the brink of nuclear war over Ukraine. I mean, God bless the Ukrainian people, but is it worth a nuclear war? Listen to the way they're speaking. They're talking about nukes now. Tell the American people that you're not for any of this garbage that the Democrats have put us through. Tell the American people that you will fight to bring our lives back to what they were 18 months ago. Tell the voters that you're not going to put up with the garbage that the Democrats foisted on us, that you believe in freedom. Tell them that you believe in God, family, and country. Remind them who the party is that believes in freedom and liberty. It certainly isn't the Democrats, and it's certainly not the Marxist progressives. Just remind people that they have a choice. Let them know that the choice is, do you want to remain the way things are right now? Or do you want things to get better? And tell them that you're pledging the things that you're going to do is to reverse all the crap that has been thrown on all of us. All of us are feeling it. Your voters want to hear that. They want to know that you get it, that you understand it, that you're affected too. You do that, you win in a landslide. That's it. Thanks a lot. Have a good night. I'll talk to you later. See you in the next one.